So when people started buying like TV shows and movies on Amazon.
So each time I see a video like this talking about the recent PlayStation slash Sony issue and digital content being removed, I'm going to stitch to it because I want you to do one of two things. One, if I tell you to go look at that video, go look at the video. Three here, sorry. Two, go follow that creator. They're great because I agree with a lot of things they say in a lot of different videos they do. And third, because I want to keep this trending. I want to keep this issue alive so people can be aware of it. And if you're not aware of what's happening, basically Sony put out a notice to PlayStation users that if they'd bought content via Discovery through their platform, is being removed because the contract is gone. Now she's talking about keeping a physical media library, and I fully agree with that. You should definitely keep a physical media library. I want to add something different to this video, which is I've thought about it, and here are some things that need to change with digital rights and digital rights management because of the nature of how things have changed. So here is what should be happening. We need better regulation of these digital platforms. If you are not aware, basically Sony, Microsoft, Amazon, any of these companies can sell you digital products under any terms they want. Any. They're not regulated the same way as like buying a CD from a store or a DVD from a store at all. Even the used market. I do resell. I'm under heavier regulation for selling used goods, especially media, than any of these platforms are. To underline again what's happening here, if you buy a movie at full price through any digital platform, you don't own it. You have rented it. Even if you have a physical download of it, and I say physical download, I mean it's downloaded to the hard drive in your console or computer, when they revoke the rights of that property, it is gone. You don't get to use it anymore. So here's the regulations I would like to see in place, and here's what needs to happen, but probably won't. One, the pricing on all digital media purchased, music and videos, needs to be reduced to no more than $5. No more. And here's why. These companies are not stocking anything. It is a pretty much automatic process for them to add these to their libraries. The manpower required to load the video to the server, tag it correctly, do all of that type of work is much, much less than you would expect. Costs next to nothing. One person can do a lot. A team of people can do a lot more, and most of this is automated. There is no restock. They don't have to put the movie back. They don't have to rewind it if a customer didn't. There's no return box. There's none of that. There's no physical labor. They're charging you full price for a long-term rental is what they're doing. The terminology needs to change. No more purchase to own unless you actually get to have a digital copy of it, at which point people should be prepared to have physical devices to store these. I'd be fine with that if the movies were cheap enough. But no more literature or no more verbiage about how you own the movie. You don't own it. No more alluding to the fact that you own it. Buy to own is not an appropriate term if you've owned it for 5 years and they revoke it. You didn't actually own it, so that needs to be gone. So no more than $5 on a purchase. All music copies or all music purchases should accompany a download with a license to burn to one CD if you choose. If that CD is destroyed, then you get to make an additional copy. Same with video. If you want to make a DVD copy out of it, you're allowed to, or a Blu-ray copy, you're allowed to. I know not everyone can do that, but the licensing terminology needs to be there now so that in the future, when it is widely available to all, it is something that can be done. This should be available. As it is, loosely legally, you're allowed to make a backup of a physical copy of a movie you have, and if that physical copy gets damaged, if you can show proof that you owned it, then you have a right to make a backup. Under current law with Amazon streaming services and the like, you do not own a license to it. Secondarily, or further, if a show is going to be produced, like Netflix is going to produce a TV show, they should no longer be allowed to edit that show to a way that alters the core content to a point that if somebody watched season 1 in year 1, they would not recognize parts of season 1 in year 3, 5, or additional. I'm talking about Stranger Things and the like here. If you didn't know, seasons 1 and 2 of Stranger Things, if you have a physical copy, are going to have differences from what was digitally there because they made changes. Same with 13 Reasons Why. That product should not be changed and should be kept in its entirety. Additionally, if a TV show is going to be produced by a platform digitally, it must have a physical copy. They must provide to the masses a physical copy to purchase. No more of this digital only. We remove it and you can never see it again. It must be sold. Additionally, for that, pricing on physical media should be different. There should be a cap set on physical media. No more than $20 new. This stuff of charging $30, $40, and this has happened, go check your Walmarts if they still have these, $30, $40 for movies. And this is various titles. There's too many to list here. Pick a title, it's there. Additionally, studios should be continued to require to upgrade their formats to newer formats. This is good for the company. If they're going to have a DVD copy, it should be required to put it up into Blu-ray. They should be doing this anyway to keep the rights for the content. If they fail to do so, if these companies fail to do so, and they don't do it within the copyright term, they lose the rights to it. Now, I know already some are going to say, well, within 90 years or so, that's too long and too far for the copyright on a lot of these products. They need to keep these fresh and available for sale. These things need to change. This is just a rough beginning of things that need to change. But a lot of things have gone this way. And if you play games, you're not safe either. Video games have gone strictly away digital. They have continued to try to sell us diskless or disk driveless consoles so that you can't physically own the games anymore. Even with that, if you own a physical copy, you're not safe anymore. A lot of games will not work if you have a physical copy if they've delisted it and they've terminated the use for it. I'm not talking about online-only play games. I'm talking about older games. The titles are slipping me now. There's a few games that I can't play because I have a physical copy, but because of an update not being available or something else, it's not playable. Those updates should always be available. Physical media needs to stay. It has to and must for multiple reasons. A lot of these content creators are pointing that out. But for the sake of cutting this video short, like I said, I will be, anytime I see a video like this by creators, I will be stitching to it and adding commentary. Please feel free to leave feedback in the comments. And as usual, if you have anything negative to say and it's not constructive, it will get removed. So what are your thoughts on this? Are you building your library back up now? If so, how fast are you doing it? Where are you sourcing your media from? Share that information with others so they know as well. As for me, I get my media from thrift stores. I get it from secondhand stores, stuff like that, where I can source that material.